Cool.
Yeah, whatever you guys decide, I'll decide. I'll decide how comfortable I am being on video. It's just a personal thing. It has nothing to do with anything like any security measures or anything like that.
Sure.
So,
Do you what's your interest in the study group? What do you want to take away?
I'm trying to really get a stronger grasp on Solidity and the smart contract and just pulling together all the platforms. There's a lot of materials and documentations out there. But I've just found out that, actually speaking with people and doing pair programming and these study groups are more effective, specifically for me. So, I spent some time, probably about in July, trying to work with the live ether.camp IDE to just really just try to pull everything together. And it was still kind of struggling just to make it all happen. I had a better understanding of smart contracts and the basics of it. But I recently got back into it, and I think what's important was the future, the more development of more documentation, and actually able to kind of finally pull together to make a full stack test with the Ethereum blockchain. So my interest is actually just to really develop my Solidity development knowledge and skill, and maybe with me learning about this minime Givith project, maybe even contribute to it, because I think that's how you really get good at something rather than just sit back and do tutorials all day.
Yeah, that's the use case that we can focus on. I'm in the same boat. I kind of struggle a little bit with Cloud9 and the ether.camp studio just because it's so powerful. But with a guy like Jim here, he'll help us out. I'm trying to pay attention and not bring down the level of the group as much as just need to get over a couple of humps. And if we can focus on that and some of the contract development, I'll pick up how to compile, build, and run and figure out this sandbox thing. So feel free to ask any questions. It's just an open study group, and I'll kind of hand it over to Jim. Jim, you're on mute, I think. Jim, I think you're on mute. Can hear you now.
You can? I just put myself on mute and off again, and I came on.
Yep.
All right. It's good to have you with us, Nan. And this is Givith Study Group as part of Divi University, divvydow.org. We have another study group tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on developing membership tokens for both for DiviDAO and for the R-Chain co-op. R-Chain is revolutionary blockchain technology that's in its infancy, and we're working with them to set up a co-op. For every project has the same needs in terms of funding, in terms of membership, in terms of these things, and we're trying to bring them together. Tonight we have what's his name? The developer from Swarm.city, who's going to be a coach for our study group tonight. So that should be a very good one. In this one, Ren calls me a coach or a mentor, whatever. I'm a newbie. I'm definitely a noob when it comes to Ethereum. So I think you could be the coach. You can coach us probably in this session. Okay, and as usual, study group topics are pretty much open. What I had suggested was that we work on the development of a simple donate contract for a simple donate contract for minime tokens, and I think we can do that. And I was just getting started here, and it may be better for you to drive on this since you know it a lot better than me. But here's what we have so far. Here's what I have so far. I just started typing this a couple of minutes ago, and I borrowed the this seems to be a practice where they they define within a contract an own contract that just checks to see if the modifier is the owner. I don't know if we need that or not. Let's see, I think I got the syntax wrong here. Just looking at the example, their sample campaign contract here. So I need to end this contract. I can say donate contract donate, and make that an own contract. Okay, this I guess is how it inherits this this own contract up here, and then these values go into here. These are properties of the own contract. Does this look correct to you, Nam?
It looks about right, yeah. Should be out? Yeah, I think it should be okay. I think the address has to be outside where the constructor is. Is that right?
Going back to the example here, which address do you mean? Here they put the fields inside the contract.
Okay, they're putting it in there, okay.
Yeah, my tendency was to put them outside too, but and that may be because of the way they set this up. Their code is too advanced for me, really. I just have to do this very simply. I probably shouldn't have bothered to put owned in there because I don't fully understand that. And I put minime token here, but I don't know that I can do that. Do you know how we get type ahead in this conference? How we get in this GUI?
But
Do you know how we
Jim?
how we get the what do you call it? The auto complete. Does this GUI support autocomplete? Do you know now?
I've never seen the autocomplete on here.
Okay. So if somebody donates money, ETH, to the contract, if the ETH is greater than 0, we want to we want to transfer. We want to call the contract the token contract with the transfer from and the transfer from from address to address. And an amount. Okay. So we want to transfer from the token address to the message.sender. Oh, wait a second. We want okay, the message.value times price. I wish we had somebody who knew what they were doing here. Do you know? But you know, this is a first stab at it anyway. Okay, so if the sender sends us the price is 1, so if the sender sends us 1 ETH, they get 1 token of whatever the token contract is set to. Now, if I if I try to put mini token in here, as a type of that contract. I was hoping it would change the highlighting here to say whether or not we had valid code here. But we can try to deploy this and see what happens. See anything wrong here?
Well, if it's not color highlighted, I'm going to guess it's not going to work, but. I don't know.
Well, the built-in stuff seems to be color highlighted. I don't know what it would do with that. But we'll see what errors we get. And that's the way we learn, right? Okay, so run active contract. Save. Okay.
An error, huh?
So line 7, I got an extra parentheses, extra bracket. Let's try again. Line 7, expected import directive or contract definition.
On line 13, do you need curly braces after donate?
Yeah.
Open.
Actually, I didn't really need them yet because I only have one line here, the if line. I mean, I only have one command, if. And if it follows C rules, if you only have one line, you don't need the braces. But you certainly should have them. Easy way to make a mistake if you don't put it. You have another line. Okay, so now I can now here's an import. And I don't know what happens if I do an import here. It seems to be asking for an import. I don't want to create a new token. I want to have a token that we already have. So I'm going to change this just to an address. If that makes any difference. And expected left brace got comma. Huh. Why is that? This doesn't control it. Okay. owned. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this owned. And remove this owned. Start minimally.
Minimally for mini-me.
It expected a semicolon on line 11. I thought Solidity didn't need semicolons.
It sounds like a C language thing to me.
Yeah, you know, some, uh, okay, so how do I call the token contract? I'm going to import that minime token. And it would help if I put an end quote on here.
When it's saying mini-me token, is that the same as the Givith token? I mean,
Yeah, it's the same as the token you created, the Save the Tigers.
okay, so it's just a generic name then.
Okay, so I'm going to put this back to minime token. And I'm going to run it.
Are you getting any real errors there?
Yeah. Transfer from, not found or visible after argument dependent lookup. Okay, so the function transfer from here I don't know how.
Well, we got 4 people in our study group instead of We had 2 last week. We doubled in size. And Gary
Okay.
Coulter showed up, Jim.
What am I doing? Okay, so we're at this point, we have a token, which is presumably a mini-me token. And mini-me token supports the function transfer and transfer from, which is what we're calling. So our issue today is why it, oh. Okay, we put 2 do's in most of these IDEs so that it is on our task list so we know what needs to be done on the contract. Why is transfer from not found? Any ideas, anybody?
Why is transfer not found?
Yeah, transfer from is not found or not visible. So is there some reason this function is not visible?
Do you not have an address somewhere? Like the contract somewhere? Or?
Well, we're when we deploy the contract, we're going to give it the address of a mini-me token. Okay, there's another function here, do transfer. You can try that. See if that makes any difference. Do transfer is not found either. Okay, so how we call the how we call the transfer from or the do transfer is the issue. And I probably need to specify the interface somewhere. And I don't know how to do that.
If I could get you to rephrase the question, I could also put that up in the mini-me Q&A and see if anybody answers it. I don't know if we're ready to that point or need to arrive at that, but saying anybody's going to be monitoring that at the moment anyway.
Who is whose code are we copying? This is Jordy's contract.
This is Mini-Me. Yeah, that's Jordy's Mini-Me. And what we're doing here is we're just making a simple donate contract, which you send it ETH, and then it issues you tokens from a token contract.
Could you go back up to that function transfer from and look at it one more time?
Sure. This function here is looking for the controller. Now, that's interesting. Wonder how that's different from the owner. I assume the controller is the owner of the contract.
Well,
If transfers are,
contract also be the controller?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't the contract also be the controller?
The Mini-Me contract has a controller. And the controller controls the sending of computer. Now, if you have transfers, okay, the idea is that the owner of, by default, the owner of the Mini-Me contract is who deployed it. In other words, the account you use to create the contract can be used to transfer funds. We've done this last week. We were able to transfer
Yeah,
funds.
I was just kind of curious the way I just didn't know if the contract itself could be the controller. But just a dumb question.
So the controller, is used to handle the vault and all the other intricacies of Givith. We're trying to be really simple here.
Then what is the purpose of what's the difference in definition of the controller versus the owner?
The controller is the contract for how the coins are distributed. So in essence, by assigning a controller to a campaign or to the token, then the owner can't willy-nilly make changes or create coins or whatever.
Okay.
That's
kind of where I was going with that question, but
yeah. Okay, so we could ask this in the study group. Um, okay.
You earlier took something out about the owner. Does the function call not know that you are the owner of the contract now?
No, the owner of the contract is who deployed it. Okay, and the minime contract is a separate contract from this contract which we're writing, which is the donate contract. And if the same ID deploys the donate contract, then they will be the owner of the minime contract as well, and can do transfers. Or is allowed to do transfers. Okay. Okay, if we can't go any further with this, we can move on to the membership contract, unless somebody wants to do something else.
I have a question. It might be an appropriate time if we're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I did see that you were talking about like a university program, which we have 4 people here today. And you also brought up something about like a bounty. And I guess I'd like to learn a little bit more about what you're referring to, if there's any way to advise people, if there's any kind of certification that you imagine, or where we could go with that, or what you have in mind.
Well, the certification process is still in its infancy. What we have now for DivvyU is a bounty program here, and I'll put this in the chat if I can find the chat. Seems like it doesn't come up readily. Takes forever. I'm sharing screen. But we have a we can have a a 3/11 study group. And we can have No, I still didn't get my chat. Yeah, there it is.
What was the delay?
Huge delay. So let me move the chat over here. Um, uh, there it is. And uh, we I should really say Givith Study group.
Just so you know, we lost the screen share of the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I don't know if that.
yeah. I turned it off here. Sorry about that.
No problem. What questions do you have so far, Nam?
So we have Nam H.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I was just saying, what kind of questions do you have so far?
Gary.
I'm just kind of observing right now, so I'm trying to absorb it.
And
You.
Jim. Okay, so essentially, the way that we assign the bounties is sort of by consensus of the team here, and we don't have a sheet specifically, a bounty specifically for. We don't have a sheet specifically for this study group right now, but it's democratic basically, and we decide how much we're going to, how much the study group is going to be worth, and we assign divvy tokens to that. And in this case, we offer the option of getting rock or amp tokens instead, for the in place of the divvy tokens. But let's say we assume a basic of 10 divvy tokens for attending.
We still don't see the screen share.
Oh, still can't see the screen share. Hello, now you can see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm presuming 10 divvy tokens for each. Looks like I got a problem with the equation here. move this up a line. See if that makes any difference. Ah, that didn't help. Well, I'll fix that later. Okay, so the these mounts are tentative until we get an approval date here, and then we have the Ethereum transaction ID associated with that. Now, what we'll do is we'll link somebody's sheet to their whoops, where am I? So we put a link in. Where's the link? To the sheet, so that when it's approved and there's a transaction, we can show it on my sheet and your sheet, and we can run the transactions and put the transaction ID. It's a double entry system, so we'll show on this sheet and on the person's sheet.
So all four of us would need to put our Ethereum address under the Ethereum transaction ID if we want to continue.
The wallet address, your wallet address goes on your sheet. So this is my sheet, Jim Scarver, and my wallet address is on my sheet. Okay, the transaction ID will go in both sheets. Okay, and we have we can have a comment here. May be claimed in rock or amps. Okay,
So does Nam or I or Gary or you need to fill out anything? I mean, because I don't know where I would do that. I don't know how you would recognize my address because I don't have a sheet.
right. Well, the easiest thing to do is to just take my sheet and copy it. Okay, and then come back in here and where there's supposed to be a link to your sheet. If you can't write on the sheet, what you do is you hit comment and you put the address of your sheet in the comment, and then one of the managers will fill it in. Now, clearly, if we make a separate sheet for Givith, then you would be a manager on that sheet. Okay, we try to decentralize the process as much as possible so that each group can have its own sheet and be given its own budget and distributed how it wants to. You got it?
Not really. I mean, I understand, but it's like, I guess I just have to start off with figuring out how to copy that. But
Yeah, well, all you have to, you know how to create a new Google Sheets. You go to Google Drive, you say New Google Sheet. And then you click on the corner here, and it highlights the whole sheet, and you do Control C or copy, and it copies the whole thing.
Okay.
And when you paste it into your sheet, then you can remove the payments that, from that are on my sheets, just blank them out. Change this address to your address. Okay, and then you copy the URL from the top of the sheet and paste it into the the comment for the Brent sheet here. I can help you with that if you're having an issue after we're done here.
Okay.
Anybody has has an issue with it, they can contact me and Brent after Brent understands it. Okay, so I'm going to hello. I'm going to cancel this. Comment. Okay, and you can comment on anything in here. Like there's a comment here. Actually, I put the comment on all 4 cells. I don't know why it I guess it only puts it on the first cell. But to give, this is to indicate that that you can get, instead of getting divvy dollars, you can get, if you need to buy bread or you think that the rocks or the amps are going to be more valuable, which is likely, you can take those at this time or later, whatever.
So if Nam wanted to sign up for the sheet, he could start off doing just like you showed, and then that's going to be going through your approval process, and then Nam would get go right to his Ethereum address, or does he have to claim something to?
He would create a page like the Jim Scarver page.
Yeah.
And he would make a comment here as to what that address was.
Yeah.
Okay, I would put that address in as a link. Okay. And
Does he have to claim anything, or is that an automatic?
What?
Does he have to claim anything after that, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, we have been using claim process, which is a Google form claim process.
Jim, let me interrupt you and ask.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's necessary. I mean, if he provides a link to his sheet, that's in essence claiming it.
Yes, but once the address, once the link to our address is made, all the transfers from this sheet will be made to the address. There is, it seems like to me that the question you were answering is, how do we get the entries into the sheet other than?
Oh, you mean can we automate this? Yes, we can automate it. Well, at some point, we can use Google Script to tie the
So let me see if I understand what we're doing here. Since you have an address in there for Jim Scarver, your Ethereum wallet address, when will your 10 Divi or Rock or Ether or amps get paid?
Okay, after A manager enters an approval date here. Okay, typically that would be at the end of the month, but
But ordinarily,
it could
you
be
won't
on
you
it could be
won't you
on
won't have
request.
you
As long as it's
won't
been
have to go to a manager. I'm sorry, you won't have to go to a manager and say, "Will you please enter approved on the sheet?" Ordinarily, there will be some manager around that is aware that the activity occurred, and they will go ahead and put an approved in there. Is that
right.
not correct?
Yeah, I mean every Thursday at 4, DVU meets, and any sheets that we manage would be, we reach a consensus at that time.
Right.
Because all of these amounts are suggestions. Okay, if
So in effect, if you are a manager, you could put approved on your cell there, and that 10 whatever would go to your Ether wallet.
well, yeah, I mean, typically I should, typically, okay, a manager can approve or block a payment,
Yeah.
or they can simply delete and formally abstain.
I see.
It may be that I can't vote for myself. I mean, that's up to the group, to the team to determine whether you can vote for yourself or not. And then the question comes: how many how many what determines what do you need to approve a payment? And what we've used in the past simply is that if there's 2 check marks, we pay it. Somebody confirmed it, and okay, yeah, I have the okay. So if you go in, Gary, you should have right access to this. You should be an editor, and
my initials are GC. I don't know if that's important.
Yeah, GC. How did I get GS?
Happens.
Okay, so so if you approve that, that would be a second signature, and that would be authorized for payment. And when we would pay it would be the issue. So we would give NAM 10 divvy, and then if NAM wanted amps instead, then essentially because we've said here that we can that these bonuses are eligible for rocks or amps. He can essentially trade those divvy tokens for the amps or the rock.
Gotcha.
And we, as a group, move to approve that now, or do you need to go through some other cycle on that?
Yeah. Well, let's put in BW here. Now, I don't think.
I just like if I met you before, Gary. I've met you, Jim. But if Nama showed up and we're at an hour mark, I would move that we put it down for him. So he credited for that, and I would say, why don't we motion to approve that now, if we can, as a group, just for the sake of showing up and participating. And he can claim that or trade it out or.
Okay, so
whatever.
you approve these four? Brent, are you saying that you approve these four?
I approve us four. I motion for that since we all showed up for the hour. If we can do it now.
Okay, well, and Gary, do you
I
approve?
don't know if we have that authority.
Yes, I approve.
Okay. And these will be okay. So what's missing now is the links to the sheet.
So Nam and I would need to fill out our sheets and
And
go
Gary,
through that
Gary,
if no one leaving.
Gary would have to create a sheet for himself, and Nam and yourself.
Nam, if you want to stick around or take care of that and not leave it on the table, there's something there. The way I see it, so it's just a process.
Yeah, I'll probably reach out to you later, and maybe go from there.
I make a mental note of it. You saw it.
Okay, we have no answer yet on our problem. And the hour is up. If anyone wants to stick around, I will. I'm going to attempt to take the this contract here, which has almost no semicolons. I didn't think they were necessary. The member identity registry.
Where did this code come from or originate?
Well,
Is this something you worked on?
yeah, this I built. Okay, what I looked all around and I found contracts that were just really complex that we might use, and then I found a really simple, stupid contract on Steemit, which was just not even a real contract. Just but the idea was that an identity would be hashed so that we wouldn't expose any identity information on the blockchain. And whatever factors we had, name, given name, date of birth, place of birth, nationality, address, 1, 2, 3, and then a random key so that nobody could figure out your identity if they knew this information about you. Okay, do you understand? We hash this, we get a unique hash, so we can prove that we're this person, but we don't put this on the block. We don't put this in the clear on the blockchain anyway, where we just put hashes on the blockchain of this information. Okay, and this identity registry was really simple, stupid. Sets an owner to a message sender. It creates a mapping of an address to a UN256, which is for the hashes. So it maps an Ethereum address to an identity hash.
Jim, I would like to have a link to that article in the chat room.
Sure, it's right in the document, the noob document, but I can put it in.
Okay.
If
I got you. I'll find it. Or put it there.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to use it right away. Brent, that was an excellent question. I've been looking at this thing for days now, and I didn't think to ask that question. I thought it came straight out of Jim's head.
Yeah, well, this was the I really wanted to make it as simple as possible, and then I was thinking, what functionality do we need besides this? So here is the address of the original contract, simple stupid, and just this is the address of the new programming working group contract. And let me just finish. Oh, let me share the screen again. Okay, so the register, we give it an Ethereum address and the hash of that identity string. And if you're the owner of the contract, it sets that identity into the hash. Okay, and then verify identity, who, constant return, the ID hashes. So you can register a hash and you can verify a hash in using this simple thing, mapping. But of course, this requires that that the owner of the contract does everything. It registers an identity. Then anyone can verify it. That's true. This throws an error if anybody else tries to register, but then lets anybody verify. So if you shared with somebody your string, you could find out that that's in the registry or the hash of that string.
Is there any way that it could be? I know I see it's all like in the code and in the hashing, but is there any way that it could be also entered in to claim that ID through forms that detail each one, date of birth, birthplace, nationality, that way that it's just like you just fill it out without having to dive into the code? Is there any way they could backtrack and create something like that?
I don't understand. What's it?
Well, I see this is through the TX hash, and I see that in the contract that it's all code. Is there a way that somebody could claim that ID and hash by putting it in a form field? So it says date of birth, name, nationality, to claim it that way, and
the user interface. Yeah, obviously you would want a user interface at some point. Okay, and if we look at, I didn't put the user interface as a target deliverable right now because for the R-Chain co-op, which is what this is for initially, even though it will apply to the co-cloud co-op if that doesn't die. Seems pretty quiet right now, and the Divi. Okay, so for the Divi, obviously we want, people to be able to do it easily with the user interface. For the ArtChain Co-op, Greg's view is anybody who's going to join the ArtChain Co-op is going to know how to run a contract. Okay, and I defined the use case here for ArtChain. A membership request is made off-chain by supplying ArtChain with their identity factors kept off-chain. So it could be a Google form to collect the factors. Okay. Then to keep it as simple as possible for the user, from those identity factors, somebody at ArtChain will hash it and send it to the user's email address. Okay, which I stuck in here, email. So we're actually going to verify their email address at the same time as their address. Now, I don't know about these other fields. We may or may not want any of them. Whichever ones the user wants to prove. Usually, the name and date of birth is pretty unique. You probably don't need anything else. Although, for know your customer, you may want to know a little more. Okay, so then, so we email that to the user. The user requests membership paying 1 ETH to become a claimed identity, giving the hash of their identity factors they receive by email from an Ethereum address they own. So what they're doing here is they're linking an Ethereum address to their claimed identity.
Who is doing that?
The user will call will call a claim claim an identity. Register ID hash. Maybe I should call it claim ID hash. That may be clearer. Person's going to claim the ID hash.
Okay.
Okay. And then if if they sent 1 ether, if they didn't send an ether, we throw an error. Otherwise, from the wallet, we send the message value. And the wallet is the is where we're going to receive the membership fees. And I have this hard code. This doesn't have to be hard coded in here. This can be supplied with the make it more general. That could be a parameter that you give when you deploy the contract.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm gonna step away. I appreciate your guys' time.
Thanks, Brent.
You guys.
See you guys.
Same here. I probably need to head out too.
All right, Don. Good to have you aboard.
Nice to learn with you, Nam. Are you most interested? Which project do you spend most time with?
I'm just kind of exploring right now, so I haven't really have anything specific.
Are you coming at it from the software or the crypto or what's your background?
I'm full stack JavaScript, and I'm moving towards.
Awesome.
I do blockchain and Bitcoin.
Yes.
You looking to earn some bounties?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of exploring. It seems like something that's possible, and so I want to move towards Solidity development.
How do you feel? What are your thoughts about going to Seattle?
What do you mean by that? Seattle's nice. I mean, what do you?
Oh,
what are you
because
thinking?
we're trying to groom guys like you to be R-chain programmers.
Okay.
R-chain won't really be full steam ahead for a year. I mean, it won't. It's just being developed, and it's a very interesting project. Check out rchain.coop.
Okay.
But they're looking to bring in people to there, and we're looking for people to maybe do like internships in using some of their stuff. So I mean, we're all convinced that our chain is going to be the future. It's going to replace Ethereum eventually.
So yeah, I just jumped on the website. So quickly, our chain is another blockchain. Is it a Ethereum fork?
No, it's a completely radical architecture.
Oh, you're doing a whole new chain. Okay.
It's and it's based on the process calculus, mobile process calculus that constrains behavior of distributed processes, and it can be much safer than Ethereum because of that.
You kind of broke up on the Zoom. Could you repeat that? Why it's safer?
It uses mobile process calculus, which can make it much safer than Ethereum. It constrains the behavior of a decentralized asynchronous processing, that's associated with the blockchain.
Okay. I'll probably have to I'll do some research on that. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. Well, it's just starting now, but it's a good time to get in.
Awesome. So is the EVM built on top of the chain then? So you still use Solidity for the smart contract?
No. It doesn't. It's not Solidity. It uses Rolang, which is based on the row calculus.
So that's another thing.
Yeah, we have
a lot of news.
We have our own virtual machine.
Yeah, we're using the Rosette virtual machine, which is the actor model.
Okay.
And it's a virtual machine that has concurrency built in at the lowest level.
Fine-grained concurrency.
Fine-grained concurrency.
What would you say? What would you say is the overall goal of this chain?
A world computer that's proven to operate according to your rules.
Okay.
Yes, it's safe and secure. in the language used to program the blockchain, which will be Rolang. But we're going to build it on a virtual machine called Rosette, and our first task is to translate Rosette from C++ to scale a language,
Right.
which won't involve any crypto principles whatsoever. Right, Jim?
Right. But it, can be employment.
Yes.
That sounds good.
And it can lead directly to the crypto part of the project.
Right. Crypto goes next. But it's very, it's mathematical programming, a lot of it. And so it's going to take a while before there's enough of a base of code that we can copy and paste our contracts easily, the way they're doing with Ethereum at this point.
Okay.
Well, great to have you aboard.
Anyway, so it's great to meet you, and thanks everybody. I learn great things every time I come to one of these learning sessions, and yes, thanks again, everyone.
Okay, are you leaving too, Gary?
Yes, I've got to take off. I'm going to East Texas, but I will try to join you if you have that learning session this evening.
Yes, we're having a learning session this evening, and it's on this, it will be...
Solidity, right?
We'll be looking at both problems since we have the master mini-me contract, a master mini-me contract guru as a coach. We'll go over the donate contract and see if we can fix that up. But the real purpose of it is to do the membership contract.
Yes. Okay. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Bye.